Well, to the U.S. presidential race, the Republican candidate and former U.S. President Donald Trump has made his first public appearance since his Democratic rival, Kamala Harris, announced Tim Walz as her vice presidential running mate. Now, speaking from his Florida resort home, Trump said that he had suggested 3 dates in September for a debate between him and Harris. The network ABC has confirmed a debate will take place on September 10th. Amid a surge in support for Harris as she tours key battleground states, the Trump campaign has attempted to cast doubt over her running mate's military record. Tim Walz served a total of 24 years in various parts of the U.S. military before becoming a congressman in 2007. All right, let's go to Washington, D.C. now for the very latest. Our correspondent there, Benjamin Alvarez Gruber, is on the story for us. Benjamin, Donald Trump made an appearance for the first time since Kamala Harris selected Tim Walz. And what did he have to say?
That's right. It was a lengthy press conference, and there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, the timing, that's quite interesting, and the choice also that his campaign made to hold this news conference instead of campaigning in the battleground states like his Democratic contenders, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And one of the biggest announcements was what you already said, that there will be 3 debates that he agreed on in September, that ABC will host this debate between both presidential candidates on September 10th. It is still unclear if there will be another debate on Fox News. Even before that, we still need to hear from the campaign team from Kamala Harris. But as an opinion poll shows that Kamala Harris and her new running mate, Minnesota Governor Walz, have erased basically the lead that Trump had built over President Biden. Trump's campaign is, of course, now working on new strategy, and the Trump campaign is trying to portray Harris as someone who does not give interviews, is trying to hide from the press. And there are also voices within the Democratic Party asking her campaign to consider more media appearances apart from her rallies, as her last longest sit-down interview was in June.
We know that Kamala Harris has been trying to connect with pro-Palestinian Democrats who have vowed to stay home on Election Day in protest. They tried to interrupt Harris yesterday in Detroit. Take a look.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
You got to watch those eyes. She was able to stare them down. I mean, she may have shut them down this time, but Benjamin, can Kamala Harris, can she win over those Democrats who want a different policy regarding Israel and the Palestinians?
A different strategy might be needed for that. And the disruption itself was really not surprising, especially not in Michigan, in Detroit, where this happened, where the so-called uncommitted movement was born. It was rather her answer that many see as a missed opportunity, even though she met representatives from the movement that was created as criticism over President Biden's Gaza policy. And the answer, of course, drew instant criticism. There was a so-called Abandoned Biden campaign that published a press release calling her reaction, and I quote, a disdain for citizens of this country. And what's very interesting here is that it was the national security advisor of the vice president that afterwards, after this rally, tweeted that she will always ensure Israel is able to defend itself and that she does not support an arms embargo. And this man, Phil Gordon, is also an assistant to the president. And this once again shows the fine balance that Harris is trying to achieve here by trying to win back voters who have turned their backs on President Biden over his Gaza policies, while also distancing herself from the policies of the current administration that, of course, she's a central part of. So that's quite difficult for her, but probably her campaign will need a different stance, a different idea to try to win those voters down instead of shutting them down and saying, if you want Donald Trump to win, then say it again, because that will probably not bring them back to the Democratic ticket.
Our Benjamin Alvarez Gruber with the latest in Washington for us. Benjamin, thank you.